For more on this story, let's speak to the Gauteng Chairperson Fred Nel. A very good morning to you, Mr. Nel. Just in terms of this announcement by Mr. Gana, the Democratic Alliance wishing him well, what's the actual reaction from the party regarding this departure?
Good morning, Desiree, and thank you for having me. Yes, we are obviously sad to see Gana go. As you said, he was a member of the party for 20 years, and we thank him for his contribution in building the DA over that 20-year period.
But just in terms of what led to his departure, he says a trust deficit between political parties and citizens. What does he mean?
I think he actually sums up the situation in South Africa very accurately. And I think that the people out there, the voters, the ordinary South Africans have lost trust in most political parties in our country, especially our governing party, because of the way that they've managed this country into the ground. We have a terrible economy. We see load shedding. We're without electricity. We see rising crime. We see increased poverty. And it is no wonder that South Africans are indeed unhappy and not trustworthy anymore of political parties. And it is our job as the Democratic Alliance to pose an alternative to the political parties that have let the people of South Africa down.
It's tempting to blame the governing party, as you say, but it's the Democratic Alliance that Mr. Gana has decided to exit from. What are the real reasons? What was happening in the background? And
I don't think there's any background story here. I think it is, we all go through phases in our lives, and, at some stage you wake up in the morning and you decide that you want to do something different. And I think, I can't speak for Gana. What I know, having shared a caucus with him as my caucus chair and me being his chief whip, is that we had an excellent relationship. I think he did very good work within the caucus. There was no unhappiness. And it's a very caring environment within the DA, and he didn't let in up that he was unhappy or there was definitely no conflict. We were actually working quite well together to build a strong alternative within the province.
So you never really had a sense that this decision was imminent?
No, there was no indication that he was about to go. So it was a bit of a shock to all of us when he resigned yesterday. But, as I say, people wake up one morning and they decide they don't want to do anything. One of my colleagues, a councillor in Tshwane, resigned yesterday because of health issues, for instance, and he felt he couldn't make the contribution that he could anymore. So, every individual must be seen as an individual within the DA, and they have different reasons for resigning.
It's very telling, though, that he leaves a political party but continues to play in the political space. In fact, there are allegations that he might be joining Songezo Zibi and former DA female leader Lindiwe Mazibuko in the formation of a new political party. Are you concerned, especially considering your performance at last year's local government elections, that support for your party is dwindling?
No, not at all. In fact, we had quite a good week as a Democratic Alliance. I'm sure you would have seen that the polling that was done by external bodies showed that we've recovered significantly as a political party in terms of voter support out there. On Wednesday, we had a by-election in Tshwane where we grew, and it seems like we've arrested that trend and that we've turned the corner. So I'm very optimistic and positive about the DA. I believe that our support is indeed increasing. If we look at the number of people joining the DA just in the last couple of months, we see the issues that the DA has been driving and how people have latched onto those issues. I'm very positive about the DA, and the DA is definitely, from our perspective, we're a growing party and we're doing fairly well.
Mr. Nel, the other narrative that has developed out of Mr. Gana's resignation is the exodus of black leaders from the Democratic Alliance. Are you concerned about this? Does it just make you want to revisit your policies?
Well, we have been revisiting our policies over the past 3 years, and there's been significant progress in updating our policies. Even this morning, I'll be part of a policy discussion on roads and transport, and we're very active on that front. We conduct quite a lot of research, and we do a lot of work in presenting alternatives. And I'm sure that you've seen in the last couple of months our alternatives to the fuel price, for instance, and addressing the issue of load shedding. These are very constructive proposals that we make to society, and by and large voters support our proposals, and we see some of those proposals even being implemented by the governing party to alleviate the impact of the petrol price, as well as negating the impact of load shedding. So I think we're a very constructive party. I think our policies are up to date, and we're making a very telling and constructive contribution to the discourse about solutions to our problems.
Just a quick one. Who are you replacing Mr. Gana within the legislature?
Well, we have to go to our list now and see who's next on our list. I'm not exactly sure who the next person is, but we have processes within the DA how we select our candidates, and I'm sure it will be a very, very strong person that comes in next.
Mr. Nel, thank you for your time this morning. Fred Nel is the DA Gauteng Chairperson.